The UK pension landscape is set to see a significant development that could bring some welcome financial relief for older pensioners. Many people across the UK who reached the state pension age before April 2016 may be in for a pleasant surprise, as the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, has announced a projected increase in the old basic state pension. This increase is tied to the government's Triple Lock policy, a key financial safeguard that ensures pensions keep pace with the cost of living, earnings, or inflation, whichever is highest. For pensioners born before 1953, this could mean an additional £431 added to their annual pension income, bringing the total yearly payment to approximately £9,607. This anticipated rise in pension payments affects individuals receiving the old basic state pension, which is distinct from the new state pension introduced in April 2016. Those receiving the old version are generally women born before April 6, 1953, and men born before April 6, 1951. While many people are now on the newer pension system, hundreds of thousands of older pensioners are still on the legacy version, and they stand to gain from this latest update from the DWP. At the heart of this development is the Triple Lock Pledge, a long-standing government policy that was introduced to ensure the value of the state pension is maintained over time. It guarantees that state pensions will increase every April by the highest of three measures: inflation, average earnings growth, or a minimum of 2.5%. This mechanism was introduced to help pensioners keep up with the cost of living and to ensure their income doesn't fall behind rising prices or wages. This year, average earnings growth appears to be the dominant factor in determining the increase. According to recent data, wage growth has outpaced inflation, which could be good news for pensioners. With inflation recently standing at around 3.8% and the Bank of England forecasting a possible peak of 4%, the deciding figure for the Triple Lock may well come from earnings growth. If average wages grow more than inflation, pensions will rise in line with those earnings, potentially increasing the real-world purchasing power for many older people. Stephen Cameron, Pensions Director at Aegon UK, noted that while inflation has been steadily rising, it hasn't surged to levels that would overtake earnings growth just yet. He explained that if earnings remain the higher figure, pensioners would see a real-term increase, meaning they could do more with their money. That's because a rise linked to earnings rather than inflation doesn't just keep up with rising prices, it can actually enhance a pensioner's spending power. This news will come as a relief to many older Britons, especially those who rely heavily or exclusively on the state pension for their retirement income. With living costs still high, particularly for essentials like food, energy, and housing, any increase in regular income can provide a meaningful difference in day-to-day life. But it's not just the potential increase that's attracting attention, it's also the political commitment to keep the Triple Lock intact. During a recent statement, Labour's Pensions Minister, Torsten Bell, reassured pensioners that the Triple Lock policy would be maintained throughout the duration of the current Parliament. He stated that the government had no plans to scrap or modify the policy in the near future and reaffirmed that the manifesto clearly outlined the intention to preserve it. This political guarantee comes at a time when many public spending commitments are under scrutiny. The Triple Lock policy, while widely supported among older voters, has come with rising costs for the government. According to official forecasts published earlier this year, the cost of maintaining the Triple Lock is set to triple by the end of the decade compared to what was originally anticipated when the policy was introduced. However, despite the growing financial commitment, Chancellor Rachel Reeves confirmed that the Labour government would stand by the policy for the full term of this Parliament. This assurance is crucial, especially in times of economic uncertainty. Many pensioners have expressed concern over whether rising inflation, economic pressures, or changes in government would threaten the future of their state pension. The confirmation that the Triple Lock remains safe for now will likely bring some stability and peace of mind to millions of retirees. The projected increase to the old state pension means eligible pensioners will receive an additional £8.30 per week, rising from £156.20 to £164.50. Over a full year, this equates to £431.60 more in the bank. This might not seem like a huge sum at first glance, but for individuals on fixed incomes, especially those without private pensions or savings, even modest increases can make a noticeable difference. It can help cover extra bills, pay for travel, or simply allow pensioners to enjoy a little more comfort in their everyday lives. It's also important to note that this increase, if confirmed, will apply automatically. Eligible pensioners don't need to apply or fill out any extra paperwork. The Department for Work and Pensions will automatically update the payments for those on the old basic state pension. This means that anyone receiving these benefits can expect to see the changes reflected in their payments from April of the following year. For those unfamiliar with how state pensions are structured in the UK, it's worth quickly reviewing the difference between the old and new systems. The old basic state pension was available to those who reached pension age before April 6, 2016, and it consisted of a flat rate payment plus the potential for additional earnings-related top-ups through the state second pension or SERPS. Meanwhile, the new state pension, introduced in 2016, offers a single-tier weekly payment, which is currently £221.20 for those who qualify for the full amount. While many may assume the new system is more generous, it's not always the case. Some individuals on the old system, especially those with additional top-ups from their previous employment, may still receive more than those on the new rate. However, both groups benefit from the Triple Lock system, which protects the value of their pensions each year. It's worth keeping in mind that not everyone will receive the full basic state pension. The amount a person receives depends on their national insurance contributions. For those who have gaps in their contribution history or who only worked part-time for extended periods, the total amount might be lower. However, there are options available to fill in missing national insurance years, and the government provides online tools and helplines to help people check their records and top up if they choose to. As always, pensioners are encouraged to stay informed about their entitlements and any changes announced by the Department for Work and Pensions. The DWP regularly updates its website with official information, and citizens can also speak to pension service representatives to clarify any questions about their payments or eligibility. For those unsure about how much they're due to receive or whether they qualify for the full amount, the government's Check Your State Pension Forecast tool remains a useful resource. For many older Britons, retirement planning doesn't stop once they reach pension age. Managing finances, staying on top of bills, and adjusting to inflation are ongoing challenges. That's why news like this latest projected increase matters. It provides a bit more certainty and helps pensioners plan for the months and years ahead. In conclusion, the expected £431 boost to the old basic state pension is more than just a financial adjustment. It's a reflection of the government's continued support for one of the country's most important social safety nets. The Triple Lock system remains a cornerstone of pension policy in the UK, and the reassurance from both political and financial leaders suggests it's here to stay, at least for now. With rising living costs and uncertain economic times, pensioners across the country will be watching closely to see how these changes unfold in the months ahead. But for now, there's a sense of relief and optimism that some much-needed financial help is on the way.